Hello everybody, we're back to the channel, Charles Morris. And this is going to be another video here on the channel. This one is going to be on the court hearings that have been happening the past few months with Dr. Anthony Fauchi, and one of the people that are targeting Dr. Anthony Fauchi and calling him out, and that there's a video that says that Dr. Anthony Fauchi should be put in jail for emails about emails or documents or whatever on that stuff. And it's about Dr. Anthony Fauchi funding the Wuhan Lab in China and giving misinformation to the American people about like COVID-19 information and that stuff. This is pretty stupid, in my opinion, because as far as I know, Dr. Anthony Fauchi, ever since COVID-19 came to the United States, is that Dr. Anthony Fauchi was a trusted health official to give, really, really good advice on telling how people should be the best defense that they could use against this virus. And that virus that I'm talking about is COVID-19. And he offered and gave the American people the best defense. One of the, well, this was before the vaccines, but the best defense also is the vaccines. Now that we have the vaccines, the best defense that you could have to protect yourself against this virus is wearing a mask, even though the vaccine does wear off from time to time after 6 months or so. That stuff, you're still protected from the masks, from getting the virus. You have a less risk of getting the symptoms versus the unvaccinated person who has COVID-19. But your chances of dying, even though you've been vaccinated and that stuff, are not as high versus a unvaccinated person. And what I'm saying is, well, it's from trusted people. They're not my own words, but they're from trusted people that I know. They've researched how COVID-19 works, and I will that's where I'm going to keep what I what I said about protecting yourself from COVID-19 right there. These are trusted health officials and that stuff. And that's where I want my words coming from. I don't want them to be my own, and I don't want to give out misinformation to people. Now, we've been battling this pandemic for almost over a year. 2021 is almost done with. We have 4 months left of this year. And what is really bothering me is these COVID-19 misinformation that's going on around here. That's where we're having, well, that's what I'm having a big problem with. And that the Congress especially have been accusing Dr. Anthony Fauchi about lying about funding the Wuhan Lab. And to me, I don't really like where the whole thing's going. Because we have more things to focus on versus like, we have to focus on how to combat this deadly virus instead of focusing on who was lying about COVID-19 and that stuff. Because this is reality. This is what we need to be focusing on. We need to figure out where this originated from, which I'm not going to lie that it was from Wuhan, China. My best guess was seafood market and pets outside of seafood markets where the virus came from. But the other conspiracy theory is Wuhan Lab. Which this guess is that it's a that it's some kind of, they suspect it to be some kind of Chinese bioweapon. Some guess that it was man-made. There's a lot of stuff here. I mean, pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy how we all want to assume how this virus started. I mean, Dr. Anthony Fauci isn't really... Well, I can say for number one, he's not a traitor. I know who this guy is. I've trusted him to give the best advice that he could to combat this virus. And I agree that 2 doses of the vaccine and getting vaccinated is the best way to prevent yourself from dying from this deadly virus. But I can't really... Well, people accusing of other people of misinformation and false information and that stuff, and then, you know, just target them. That's what scares me. Even though they haven't really... One person suspects you of lying about something, even though when you gave the best advice and you're not like a traitor, or, you know, you haven't done anything completely horrible or whatever. It just bothers me when somebody wants to just go after one person because they assume that they're lying for some apparent reason, or just to be, you know, you know, you know, just plain, like, I don't know how I want to say that, but, yeah, you know. All this stuff that... I understand people are upset that COVID-19 is out there and that stuff, but... And all these court hearings are here because of... They want to make sure that people are protected and that stuff. But when it goes to, you know... suspecting someone to be like traitors and that stuff. It's not necessarily the time for that. That we need to, what really should be done is finding out where COVID actually came from, how you can stop this deadly virus that is killing, well, that is like killing people. It's continually killing people. And if the more you don't put a stop to this, the main threat, the more that it's going to be a big threat to safety. People are fearing for their lives. This is not as worse as the first breakout of COVID ever since 2020. But the time isn't really to be focusing on Dr. Anthony Fauci and that stuff. We have more pressing matters, like figuring out who doesn't have the right equipment to stop another insurrection, like what happened on January the 6th. That's the big issue that needs to be taken care of. The other thing is this deadly coronavirus that needs to be taken care of, and that stuff, and then finding out who's responsible for it. And in Wuhan, China, where we expect that it originated from. And then figure out how we can stop this deadly virus from killing people and that stuff, if it's possible. And the people should start having at least hope that this country is doing everything that it can to ensure safety and that stuff. Because that's what the U.S. is about. It's about safety. We want to keep people safe. This is why we want to find out about the, investigate the whole insurrection, who participated in it, and bringing them to justice, and also number 45, who incited it. And on top of that, let me just add in there that former 45 is the absolute American traitor, and not Dr. Anthony Fauci. I know that nobody likes me to bring that up, but you know what? I'm not of a Trumplican, because a Trumplican would believe that there would be exact voter fraud and that stuff, and I'm not gonna go down there into thinking that there was voter fraud, because it's not true. I don't think Dr. Anthony Fauci is a traitor. As far as I know this guy, I thought he was a well-trusted person to listen to combat this virus. Dr. Anthony Fauci didn't even start it. back in the Trump administration, he was there to help fight this coronavirus. That's why there was the coronavirus task force team. And Dr. Anthony Fauchi, I looked as a leader in leading the COVID-19 task force. So, I think that the big thing that's going on right now is that people are wanting to target Dr. Anthony Fauchi because they believe that this guy is helping fund Wuhan, China on the deadly coronavirus. That is my take on that. And as more of these threats attacking people because we think that they are suspected of lying when really it's just complete honesty that comes out of their mouth when they answer questions. Yeah, that's a big problem. But who knows? Like, I trust Dr. Anthony Fauchi. I don't think he's funding Wuhan Labs. I'm not gonna just sit here and make this video and start accusing whoever I want, because first off, when I make videos, I make sure I do my research. Because number one, I want to make sure that I get that where I'm getting my information where I'm getting my information from comes from, you know, that I like research it up. So at least I have that I'm not, you know, saying anything misleading or something that sounds totally inaccurate. Because the thing about me is when I make these videos, I don't like to be dishonest with people. Whenever I make these videos, I at least want to try to say to the best that I can. Nothing too upsetting. But I mean, I understand people can believe what they want to believe and that stuff. Like Dr. Anthony Fauci, as I said, I don't believe to be the big traitor everybody is picturing this guy to be. Even, you know, some people in Congress and, you know, people like Rand Paul. If Rand Paul is a member of Congress, then if Rand Paul is wrong about Dr. Anthony Fauci giving funds to the Wuhan Lab, then Rand Paul is going to have to be responsible for accusing Dr. Anthony Fauci of lying. Like, when people lie and then they turn up to be not true and that stuff, then they have to end up normally they end up giving apologies for that kind of stuff. And then people can normally they get found out for lying by other people if something ends up not being true. And then there's a lot of fact checking that comes with that too. So it's really if Rand Paul is lying about, you know, Dr. Anthony Fauci giving funds to the Wuhan Lab and that stuff, well, then what I can definitely say is that Rand Paul's going to be fact-checked for what he says. The media likes to be fact-checking people. If you go on YouTube, you can see a lot of fact-checking videos. Like, there is one where the debate between President Donald J. Trump and Vice President Joe Biden, which Joe Biden was the President of the United States. Well, he's the President of the United States now, but back then he was the Vice President for the Trump administration. And there's a video on just fact-checking the whole thing. And that's what normally happens after court hearings or, you know, whatever goes on and that stuff. There's a bunch of, like, you know, fact-checking stuff that goes on. And if Rand Paul is lying about Dr. Anthony Fauci, stuff, or if Dr. Anthony Fauci is ever if Dr. Anthony Fauci is expected to tell lies, then they're going to get fact-checked. And right there, well, here's one thing. You can never tell when somebody's going to be right or wrong about something. I totally get that, but I don't believe that Dr. Anthony Fauci gives fund to the Wuhan Lab for the coronavirus. And that's one thing that I think I could actually trust. I don't suspect Dr. Anthony Fauci to be a traitor. I don't believe Dr. Anthony Fauci would do anything to harm the American people over the coronavirus. I just don't see him being that kind of person. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please comment, like, and subscribe to the channel, Charles Morse. And until my next video, keep fighting the COVID-19 pandemic. Still wear masks. If you've been vaccinated, stay vaccinated. And if you haven't been vaccinated, get yourself vaccinated. You can prevent yourself from dying from COVID-19, and continue to wear a mask, and don't give your life to COVID. That's the best advice that I can give you to end this video. Remember, stay safe, wear a mask, get vaccinated. Stay vaccinated. If you need a third dose, get a third dose if you need one. And if you need a double mask to prevent yourself from this virus, do so.